Welcome, Nichole Duncan.
Hi.
Nice to have you back.
Thank you.
First time on the podcast.
Yes.
You completed your first Tinman coin, and you were granted a attendance to a 1-day wellness retreat and 3 months of holistic health coaching.
Yes.
And now you have completed all that. And so according to the program format, you come back in, you do a podcast. You don't have to do a podcast, but you give us some feedback on what you thought about your first coin, and then you're eligible for a second one.
Okay.
So I just want to go through the original list that we did, where we went through the different sort of therapies, treatments, coachings, modalities, what have you, with dealing in the wellness world. And you answer either yes or no if you tried it, or if you liked it, or if you're interested or not interested.
Okay.
And you marked as you were very interested in holistic health coaching, hypnotherapy, a women's group or community group, a wellness retreat, and float therapy. So out of all those things, have you did you just experience the wellness retreat and the holistic health coaching? Is that right?
Yes. I actually did do float therapy. I got a gift certificate for my birthday. So I did actually go to the float tanks in the Dells in March.
What did you think?
I loved it. Yeah. I definitely would do it again.
Was it like 1 hour?
It was 1 hour.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to get them signed up as a partner.
Yeah, I didn't know how I would. I love water, but I didn't know how I would do it. I'm like, can I float for a whole hour? But
Yeah.
it took me about 15 minutes to get relaxed. But once I got into the zone of it, it was, it went by fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got in the zone for a while and felt pretty zen the whole time.
Yeah. And it's just crazy having that no gravity on your body for a whole hour.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of knee pain and issues at that, and so I think that helped tremendously for a couple days. Yeah, I felt really good.
Okay. Cool. I'll have to try it.
Yeah.
I did it one time a few years back in Madison, and it took me, I feel like, the whole time to get into it. And then as soon as I was like, oh yeah, this is
Then
great,
it's
I'm
over.
finally in. Yep, buzzer went off.
Yep.
So let's talk about the holistic health coaching. What did you expect going into it, and what did you learn that you didn't think you would learn, or what surprised you?
I guess I have known Christina for a while, so I knew a lot of what she did, but I'd never worked with her, so I really didn't know what to expect. And I've done years of therapy with a counselor, and so this was totally different for me. But yeah, my eating and just, I guess what I got out of it more than anything that I didn't expect was just the routines, like setting up the routines of your daily routine. And because once that gets, in place, things seem a little bit easier. So yeah, she really helped me with getting my morning routines, and I had gotten off of track of even just my self-care in general. So it was a lot of that. And we talked about nutrition, but not all nutrition. It was a lot of different types of self-care with medication and shadow work with my childhood traumas.
Okay.
And that's the first time I've ever really explored that. So that's new to me.
Okay.
And I'm still kind of getting into that. I'm definitely doing my shadow workbook, but it was difficult for me, but it's getting easier.
So the shadow workbook, is that what deals with like some inner child stuff?
Yep, the childhood trauma stuff.
And you're doing that separately, or is that through?
She recommended that I get the workbook. So it's a workbook that I got online, and I do it on my own.
Okay, so it's like kind of a do-it-yourself shadow work thing.
Yep.
Okay.
And it helps you identify like triggers and things that might, bring up things and figure out why it does.
Yeah.
Like something that might have happened in the past that triggers you now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But as far as the health coaching and the nutrition, she has helped me a lot with, I'm working on an anti-inflammatory diet and a liver detox right now.
Okay. Is that a drastically different diet?
It's not that different for me. I pretty much eat the way that, like most of the things she told me, I usually eat that way anyways. I have my days and my moments where I get off track and then, overindulge. So really what I realized is I need to quit putting so much pressure on myself about my nutrition and be a little bit more graceful for myself.
Sure.
Because I do good. I do good for the most part.
Yeah. Cooking at home and.
Yes, we do cook at home a lot and eat out, very little compared to what we used to. So, but she was able to, if it doesn't work for you, or she'll make it work for you. Like, if something that works for her might not work for me. And so she was really good about easing me into it. Like, she's not like, you have to do this and go full bore into it. So she was really good about working on my timeline, I guess.
Yeah. What fits into your life.
Yes.
Because it's so hard to make changes in our habits.
Yes. And I had a lot of changes going in because I had just changed my business track and downsized my business, and I had gotten off of track with my self-care. So I'm trying to get back on now. And she really helped me with that.
And you mentioned the routine you felt was pretty important.
It is. Yeah.
Could you, what's your morning routine?
So with Christina, I started a tongue scraping in the morning, which I never did before. And I would brush my teeth like after I already got ready, but she informed me it's better to do it beforehand and scrape your tongue before you even eat anything. And I do a warm lemon water in the morning, which is helping with the liver detox, and then eating before I drink my coffee, which was a difficult one for me too. But she also helped me with that and said, just, eat a handful of nuts before you drink your coffee. So that's really what I did. And now I'm to the point where I can sit down and I have my coffee with my breakfast instead of chugging my lemon water down and going straight to coffee. Yeah. I'm able to get to my breakfast and then I eat my breakfast with my coffee and really sitting and enjoying my food instead of eating on the run or eating standing up.
Sure. So that's the advice from her was to eat before coffee.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it helps with your gut health and hormones and.
Yeah. And that's such an easy routine. Like, it's not asking a whole lot.
No.
I did that. I've been off of it for a while, but I did that same routine for like 3 months, and I loved it. And I got out of the habit. I'm still in the brush your teeth, tongue scraping routine. But I gotta remember that lemon water. It's good, isn't it? Like, you get used to it.
It's a good start to the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my husband has joined on in the routine.
Really?
So, yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then what about, is there a bedtime routine too?
Yeah, my nighttime routine is tough because I have drastically different hours every night. Sometimes I'm done at 6, sometimes I'm done at 8, sometimes I'm done at 4. So I have tried to start journaling more at night or working on my shadow workbook at night, but I haven't gotten a routine yet. But that is one thing I'm going to work on. I used to do yoga before bed, like just a quiet bedtime yoga, really gentle yoga. And I kind of got off of that. But I'm going to get that started back up too. And my husband's going to join me on that. So that always helps with accountability.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And it does help me sleep.
Yeah. Do you like YouTube yoga or?
Yeah. We just YouTube like a bedtime yoga or gentle yoga, and it's, 10 minutes. It doesn't take that long, but it does wonders.
Sure. Do you like try different ones or?
I have. Yeah. I used to do a yoga app that I would do in the morning, and it would progressively get harder. So it started out pretty gentle, and then they would add more and more to it. So.
Okay. I love gentle yoga.
Yeah.
It's my kind.
And I'm going to try to do the June yoga.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That'll be, is it 4 or 5 different Mondays?
Yeah. I don't know.
I think 4. Yeah. 5:30 a.m.
Yep.
That time works for you?
Well, I used to go to CrossFit at 5:30 a.m.
Okay. So you can do it.
That is another thing I've decided to cut back on my CrossFit and try to do something different that might be better for my body.
Okay.
Because CrossFit is getting a little too tough for me. And I'm having knee issues, so I'm trying to concentrate on that and taking a step back. So
sure, something a little more gentle.
Yeah. So Christina also helped me come up with a workout for at home. So I'm going to do that for now
Okay.
and see how that works out. Because I realized I don't necessarily have to kill myself at my workouts. I just have to move my body.
Yeah.
And that's tough when I go to CrossFit and I want to do what I used to, and I can't necessarily do that anymore. So
Yeah. Well, and so many people love CrossFit, and I'm sure it's really good for so many people that have that drive, and it's kind of like because it's so intense, or can be if that's what you put into it. It's kind of an efficient way of getting your exercise in, because you're doing so much, and it's like, okay, I'm good for the day. But there's also, there's the body to think about too, and
CrossFit is more like I'm going to miss the people more than the workouts. Like it's the community of it that really keeps me going back.
Yeah. And you said you like to be outside. You like hiking.
Do. Summer is my season, because I love working in my yard and I like hiking. So I love to be outside.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, me too. Let's see. Wellness retreat. What did you think of that day?
I loved the wellness retreat.
You
and
did? Okay.
I honestly woke up that morning and my sister was supposed to join me and she was sick. So I really kind of woke up that morning and I was just having a bad morning, and I was like, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to talk to people. I'm not in the mood to socialize. So it was a struggle to get there, but I actually talked to a lot of people that day that kind of felt the same way.
I know. I heard that a lot too.
And I was like, I'm glad I came though. And it was a good day. Like, we had a lot of breaks, and sometimes I went and talked with people, and sometimes I went off on my own and sat, by the water and had my own quiet time, which I needed. But yeah, it was definitely a great day. And some of the things I had done before, and some of them were new to me, but I felt great on Sunday.
Sure.
I was really refreshed.
So what was new that day for you?
The rapé was new with the meditation. And that was one of my favorite parts, even though I want to do it again because I feel like I sneezed way too much.
Oh, it came out?
Like, I don't know if it wants to stay in my body, but I felt very grounded with that. So I am going to try to do that again, maybe with Christina. And the breath work I had done before, and there was an unmasking ceremony that it was new to me as well.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to be in on that at all, but
yeah,
it seemed like it was some pretty intense.
It was very, I don't know if it wasn't something that did much for me, but with the breath work, it was my third time doing breath work. And the first 2 times that I did it, I could not it didn't work for me. The first time I just kind of went to sleep and I didn't remember anything. And then the second time, it was okay. But I didn't react to it in any way. But this time at the retreat, I finally did experience, what I was supposed to experience, I guess. And I don't know if it was because of a trip that I had just taken to Sedona, and I had some energy work there as well done. And I feel like it opened me up a little bit more. But the breath work it definitely worked that day. And that was probably the most impactful part of my day.
I think there's something to that, the series, like the 1, 2, 3, and it's similar to other psychedelic medicines because you're working with the same chemical of DMT that is naturally released in the brain during a breath work, and which is the same as like a ayahuasca ceremony, which is like 6 hours.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, if somebody goes to experience ayahuasca for the first time, they won't feel anything.
Okay.
It works with the body and it's quiet and doesn't tell us much. There might not even be a purge. Like it's like nothing happened. And then the next time, maybe a little more sensation. And then the third time, off to the cosmos type thing. So it's like the medicine itself, or that chemical compound that exists in all living things, is like this teacher or this healer that just has its own way of working, and you really don't ever know. We can have all the intentions we want,
Right.
but we never really know what that medicine is going to give us. And
Yeah, and the first time I did breath work, I, like I said, fell asleep, and I woke up and everyone was sitting up and talking, and I was like, I didn't even know what was going on, but I felt great. I felt great afterwards.
yeah.
But this time I definitely remembered everything, and it definitely worked.
Did you cry? Did you
I did
release?
cry. I had some inner child energy work done in Sedona, and it kind of came back to me during the breath work. And I had visions of myself as a younger child. And I had a lot of childhood trauma. So those younger versions of me were like playing and having a good time and playing in a meadow, but I couldn't join them. Like at that time, I was like, I wanted to, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. And so that made me very emotional. But then I came to peace with the fact that I just wanted to watch them like experience the joy until I was ready to join them. So it was kind of a weird little trip that I had. And then I also started thinking about me as an adult now, and just the traumas that I've had, and how I don't accept. It's hard for me to accept from other people. And it was like a awakening, I guess, of basically with my husband, you know, because he's been very supportive and wants to take care of me and wants to be there for me. And I'm kind of a push you away kind of person, but I just realized like I'm gonna let him take care of me. Like, and you know, I'm not, you know, I'm a very independent person, but that doesn't mean I don't need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was very emotional, and it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Well, that's beautiful because he's there for you.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is accept it, right?
Yes. And that was one of my fears at the retreat. All day I kept thinking, you know, what if I make all these changes and then he doesn't like me? You know, what if we're not compatible anymore? What if I change too much? And but that fear kind of went away. And then after I talked to him about it, you know, but we're growing together in our own ways, because he's making changes too. He's doing it in a different way, but you know, we are growing together, and I've never had that before. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
And that's I don't want to say it's not common, but it's just so special when it exists, because
Yes.
it's often that that couple doesn't align that way. Not that a couple has to walk the same path by
Right.
any means, but when you have one that wants to do some digging or some improving some way, and the other one sort of can shy away from it, that can really cause some friction. So
Right.
it's got to feel good. And
Yeah, it does feel very good. Yeah. Yep.
so if let's just say the Tinman Coin Grant was over with, and there was no more coins that would be issued to Nichole, would you continue any of these on your own, or are there other things you would want to explore?
No, definitely. I have been thinking about continuing with Christina. I told her I would let her know with the move. For me, it's difficult right now, but yeah, I would definitely continue the coaching, and if there's another retreat, I definitely would make. And you know, I'm sad that my sister missed it, so hopefully, if there's another retreat, she'll be able to make it. And then, but yeah, I would definitely do it. And I have friends that have done more of the psychedelic stuff, and I was kind of like, I would never do that, but I'm more interested now. Like it does, especially since the breath worked this time, because
Sure.
I kind of got a little bit of a feeling of that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've done years of therapy and counseling, and it did work for me. I did a lot of stuff, but this is a whole new avenue for me. And I feel like it's another whole new chapter of growth for me, and stuff that's healing that, you know, I didn't even know need to be healed, you know? So
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like this works for me. This path that I'm on right now is working very well. So
Okay.
I do
Good to
plan on
hear.
continuing.
Good to hear. It's I know a lot of what you experienced at the wellness retreat and through with the holistic health coaching. It's not It's not a therapy in the sense of like massage therapy or sound bath or, and I shouldn't say that because it's not true for everybody, but there's some things we can turn to, and it's different for other people, but there's like different sorts of therapies or treatments that are stress relieving and relaxing. But then there's the therapies and coaches and treatments that teach us practices and give us new tools
Right.
that can be carried on throughout the practice of our life after that moment, if we choose to use them.
That's how I feel. I feel like I have a whole new box of tools to work with that I didn't have before.
Cool.
So, there's things that have worked for me in the past, but now I have even more to choose from. So,
Sure.
yeah.
I just want to pull up your original application here. You mentioned at the beginning of when you applied that you felt that you were depressed usually, like more than half the time. So let's say 5 out of 10, 10 being extremely always depressed. If you were at a 5 or a 6 before, how would you rate yourself now?
Probably an 8. I mean, I still have my days, but
8 meaning, okay, so 8.
so 10 is good or 1 is good.
Well, I don't know if depression's good or bad. Let's say 0 is not depressed and 10 is very depressed.
Okay, then I would say 2.
Okay.
Okay.
You went from a 6 to a 2.
Yeah, like I actually have an appointment with my doctor to talk about trying to go off my antidepressants that I've been on. So, and I've tried in the past, but like I said, I feel like I have a whole new set of tools now. So I'm in that place. I mean, this is always a good time of year for me anyways, but even when I have my days that are bad, I feel like I bounce back a little quicker.
Yeah. Higher highs and higher lows.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Well, that makes me really happy. And I hope the viewers see that value in that too.
Yeah.
Nichole, Duncan, going from a 6 to a 2. That makes me really happy.
And a lot of people have noticed. I mean, my husband is with me every day. And so there's been times where he's just like, at first he was like, I feel like you're in a funk or you're just a little off. And I'm like, I'm just happy. Like, I feel like I'm in a place that I've never been really. Like I'm more calm.
Content.
Yes. And I don't know if I ever knew what that felt like. So it is strange, but I'm learning to love it.
Good. Good to hear all of this. One more question.
Sure.
A couple other things you had starred. Well, flow therapy, you did it on your own. Wellness retreat, you did that. Have you found a community group or anything?
No, Christina did invite me to the women's circle, and I told her to let me know when they were, but it didn't work for me at that time. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe the yoga that you're going to do will be kind of a community.
Yeah, because if I'm stepping away from CrossFit, I'm losing that little community that I had on that day-to-day basis. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finding something new.
Yeah, I feel like that's half of it, right?
Yeah,
or even more.
Yes.
Hypnotherapy. Still interested?
Yeah. I've never really delved into that either, and that would be something I'd be interested in. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we identified a few different things that we might be able to do in the next coin.
Okay.
And then there's just one more after that. So, yeah.
Okay.
This will be fun to see. So I'll surprise you in a couple of days.
Okay.
Thank you for coming in, Nichole.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Good to have
Thank you for everything.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Okay.